Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, with us getting some interesting ninja action this week, I had to use me a ninja, so I apologize. But overall, I really want to see the end of this show, or not the end, but I want the show to have a long running end. Because as of right now, like I've always said with a lot of animes that I start to see close to an end for, like when they're just kind of giving you things that could lead to an end all be all instead of leading to more details in general. We get this interesting information about uh, what truly has been going on behind closed doors, and like who is actually the next up, or not next up, but yeah, who's the next up to give us real problems and actually moving against us even as we speak. We get to see them, and they are relatively intimidating. Not only do they have this kind of vibe about them that they act nice, but truly there's something like devilish about them in the background is kind of how I see them already, and that's not a good sign. Because this guy's like, oh, so you're working with this the other people that have taken over and are striving for themselves. I'm guessing you took over, like you align with them because you don't have the forces or the necessary means to take them out yourself. So if I give you those necessary means, leave them and attack them, right? Like break up everything you guys have and accomplish and just work for me, and we'll settle our disagreements then. So that being the case, it made a lot more sense why our main guy was like, yeah, we can't trust them. We can't work with them. We can't put all of our hope into having, them be a part of what we're trying to build here. And that just goes to show you how cool and ridiculously intelligent this politician guy is when it comes down to asking about things to the face of people to see how they really react, to see how they really, give you an answer. Because at this point, you can ask anybody anything, and, if they tell you whatever they tell you, you're either going to believe it or not. And with someone like him who's seen through these types of situations hundreds of times, probably, with people saying one thing but not even knowing how to live up to their true meaning of what they said, things like that do not get past this character. And that's why I mess with the guy, and that's why he's clearly the main character, right? Because if he wasn't, we would probably be seeing someone more or less of the politician. No, excuse me, I just got really angry because this stupid move I did didn't work. I tried to throw a shuriken and I wind up doing a backflip. But the guy who deals with money and all that stuff seems more of the charismatic leader type to me anyway. So if that was the case, I wouldn't have been surprised. But seeing how this is playing out now, it's really interesting to know that he called this out from a long time ago. That they can't be trusted even after they were the only reason why they got a good attack on the emperor, or like the guy in general who's attacking them with the spear. Um, it was if it wasn't for the team that was on his side that betrayed him, we wouldn't be in such a good standing in the case of winning that battle. So we do owe them for that, but at the same time, we only really owe one person, and that debt has now been paid. And that's another reason why I'm playing as a Shinobi S ninja character. Before Shinobu, she went. That's like the perfect Shinobu. She's my Shinobi Boo. Um, and to see her come into the clutch and save this girl from her own people who not only were just gonna take her life and destroy her, just erase her from existence. But instead of just killing her, they're like, you know what? She's too good to kill right now. Let's just take our time. Like, what? And it made sense too why they would be so willing to go against her, including with the first time that they ever captured Shinobu, and they wanted to, do all this torture and, see her naked or whatever the case may be. But she told them they couldn't watch. She was like, I want to be the one that does this, and while I'm doing it, no man shall watch me do so, So it already felt like there was some type of weird, degrading level of, not disappointment, but of, like doubt, like people not believing in her to be that strong, or because she's a woman she shouldn't be in the position she was in. It felt like there was some type of, you know thing there in that situation with her already, that kind of she held against some of the soldiers, maybe not all of them, because she did look up to one of them, the guy who went to the emperor to get the information about getting these troops, and receiving a comrade that seems relatively like the worst case scenario for him to achieve, right? Like, this is not the comrade that you want. And the person that the emperor is giving him is this person that has the same exact abilities as the guy that they just betrayed. So, yeah, I don't know if you want that guy in your castle when the only thing that really stopped him from dying in his own castle was him doing a spell that made it look like he completely disintegrated himself. No body was found. And now all of a sudden someone shows up at the emperor's place with the emperor having all the information he already knows about what happened there, saying, oh, you must have betrayed this guy, and then after doing that you didn't have enough power to take on the people that you allied yourself with, so he had quite a bit of information. And if no one told him, in the case of the people that came in to tell him about, the ally and stuff like that, they didn't tell him everything that happened and that they, teamed up and attacked somebody. How and who would have known that would be, oh boy, that was betrayed. So we're getting into a very interesting plot stuff. And not only that, Shinobu showed her, uh, the next girl that's probably going to be our best asset. And I don't think she even has magic that she's shown yet, but her swordsmanship is ridiculously good, so she's going to be really helpful. But the problem is, they saw where the gold is, and she pretty much showed her all these different things to make her understand that the person she's following is not who she seems or who he seems, but at the same time, with the dude who they both fought to the bitter end, and come to find out he could still be alive, is about to show up down in the hall in the darkness place where this gold is, mind you. And we're going to see maybe just his reaction of knowing his gold statues down here. Not only that, the fact that everybody who betrayed him is going to be in hands reach. He could destroy so many people if he really wants to cut loose. So we'll see how all this turns out. The show's been getting interesting as a whole, and I really do recommend it to a lot of people because it is bloody. Not only is it bloody, we got to see the darkest side of one of our main characters of the seven, which is the doctor girl, who said if she could kill gods, she could, because why would gods make us and not give us the bodies we need to be able to heal ourselves naturally and all this stuff? He must have wanted us to be tortured through the natural, things and everyday life that could take us out just if we made the wrong steps or eat the wrong thing or get poked by the wrong, branch. So she really, really scared the crap out of me, and that's what I was telling people at the very beginning of the show. It would be interesting is, what if one of these characters actually turned out to be bad at the end? Like, what if one of them, decided to do something completely outside of what was supposed to be done, and because of it, it changes the whole dynamic. Not only the dynamic, but people who have these skills that are unknown to certain enemies will all of a sudden be fully known to the main enemy, who would be someone that was on their team. I don't know. I might be looking too far into that, but she seems so devilish that, like anyone could say, humans all are the same sometimes. And once they get power, once they get in a position to do things that they normally couldn't do, they like to take advantage of those situations and become stronger. But we'll see if our characters do that and get tempted by it, because at this point, being able to do whatever you want to somebody and get away with it is very dangerous. And not only get away with it, then make that person work for you as if you were always friends. So we'll see how this plays out. I hope you guys are having an amazing one. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you in the next one. Peace.